Let's call our special, ooh, that's loud, call our special call meeting to order, June 24, 2008. Call roll, please.
Stevens. Shawnee.
Here.
O'Neill.
Here.
Mills.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Peterson. Here. Hall.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Okay, number one, discuss and consider setting compensation for the interim city manager. And I believe we have something in our package here. We did earlier. You had an email for a request of $92,000, if I recall. And Jim Collard was at 96 or something. Is that right?
Yes, he was.
96. Okay. So, any discussion about the dollars or? And a car allowance, $500. Car allowance, right? But because of meetings, she'll have to attend, which are primarily PCDA. Okay.
Planning on airport, sure, SCCDA.
Right.
SCCDA, just anything you guys want me to go.
Okay.
SCDA.
Okay.
I move to accept the request.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Schran. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, and I'll want to ask some
Okay,
questions.
seconded by Commissioner Peterson. Okay,
Right. Where are you now, Phyllis?
65.
Okay.
Well, and then
Car allowance.
65 with 100 car allowance, okay.
Okay. And, do we have these additional funds already in an account for the city manager, or do we need to make that request now too?
okay, go ahead. I thought Ms. Shawnee.
Okay, the city manager's departmental budget was budgeted enough to pay out the year for the city manager, was budgeted for that, so it will handle her salary. The budget amendment here is for $60,000 from, street department to the city manager's department, will then fund his buyout.
That's just him though, that's not the additional,
Difference between hers and.
20,000.
Yeah, because we had budgeted for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The 60 is
Okay.
additional out of street personnel though, right?
Personnel.
Yeah, not street.
Not streets, street
Maintenance,
department
right.
personnel.
Personnel, okay.
But the city manager budget is the end of the calendar year, not the fiscal year.
It is the end of the calendar year, but we owe all of that, whatever it is, I'm gonna use 60 for a round number. We owe that to him today. We owe that to him, the event was the severance of the contract, so we owe all of that in this fiscal year, even though we paid him this year.
Which will still be paid in monthly increments.
Yes. And we did contact Mike Crawford, I was out of town, and to verify that.
Okay.
I was correct.
So what about the extra 2,000 a month? Which
He's
is,
making it 96 and she's asking for 90.
okay, so you're saying that's for the difference?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't catch it, okay. But that's just for, oh, that was for next year too, that's what we're putting in for.
Right.
Okay, okay,
We're good.
yeah.
Other discussion?
I have one question, on your email, you were saying you had, are you still gonna be doing some of your duties with the, clerk's office? You'll be
Yes.
that as well?
I'm relying on Donna to step up and do a lot, and I'm still going to be doing as much as I can to help out. Plus also in the court area and with the utility. I'm gonna be stretched pretty thin, so Donna's gonna really step up.
And she's already deputy city clerk, so she can do some of this.
She can be active as well,
Yes.
sign some of the things that
If you're not available, you're at a meeting or something.
That's my question.
And I have, two of the supervisors, water and municipal court, that
And you have Tony to help you also on the city manager side. Behind camera number 3.
Yeah.
I have one question on that, legal question. Do we need any kind of a variance or anything? Charter states that the city manager will vote full-time to the job, but this is an interim department.
It's fine, as long as she's got the job.
Okay. Just want to make sure there'd be no snag down the road.
Let me just say my first priority is the city manager.
Right. And then to assist if you need. Okay. Okay, other questions, discussion? Okay, call roll, please.
Shawnee.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Cole.
Aye.
O'Neill. Hill.
Aye.
Collier.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, number 2, authorize staff to proceed with advertising for city manager position. And I did add this. I know we've exchanged a few emails of, questions about whether we should do this or not. And I thought it would be fairly automatic because it'll take 45 or 60 days just to see what the market bears. It really won't cost us anything, and it's not like a headhunter or something. So, and if I recall, that actually occurred before we all took office last time. The advertising actually had taken place, and we had about 45 applications, and then we decided how we were going to go about hiring the city manager with the committee and going through that whole structure. So need to at least advance this forward just to see at least what the market will bear, and that's just my idea on it, and trying to save us some money, so that whether it's us or new people or a combination of us and new people that help make that decision. So that's why I put it on here to just automatically do, and just again see what the market will bear. We have no idea at this point. We're just kind of sitting in flux until that happens. So
There's a couple other things that come into play here. If I remember correctly, when all but 2 of us took office in May of '04, we started the procedure. It was, I think, at that meeting or the meeting after, interim city manager Terry Compton resigned. And we went into immediate discussion on what to do and how to look for a permanent city manager. And that took, from that time until we hired Jen Collard, it took 3 months.
right. But we did have applications already at that point because the advertising had been done by the previous commission.
Well, the point is, too, we've all agreed over the years that any major decisions, which these 3 I consider major decisions, that we would have a full board present. We wouldn't depend on 5 or 6 or the lowest number of quorum of 4. And as you mentioned in your email, Commissioner Stevens gave her okay to use.
She did.
But I have an email on the 18th that she'd rather wait.
She wanted to wait, if you read that clearly, she wanted to wait on the process when everyone was back, not the advertising. She said we need to go ahead and do the advertising. Then, because it just works, it's going to work for 45 or 60
The email that
days.
we've all received, you didn't get that one. She accidentally on purpose left you off the address bar.
There's no accidentally on purpose. That kind
Well, I'm
of,
just telling you the facts.
okay. Well, I'm just telling you what she told me because she felt like we needed to move forward on this. And matter of fact, I think she told Kelly Howard the same thing.
Well, I have the email, and so do the other commissioners, they have it from her too. We can read.
Have you guys had indications from her of as to what she wanted to do?
My initial conversation was that she was okay with
Mhm.
doing this, and I don't know what changed, where she, I don't want to say she went, told us said don't do it. I mean, that wasn't my impression, but it was, that, I don't know what she wanted to review. I mean, I could not understand.
I thought it was the process.
And so my question would
Hiring
be,
process.
what in the advertising process do you think that we all need to agree on? I mean, just an
Right.
advertising process. I mean, what's going to come before us that we're going to okay or deny in the? I mean, are we going to talk about where it's advertised and what the wording is and how long we leave it out there? I mean, are those the kind of things that have this board concerned about moving too quickly and not feeling like we have the consensus of everybody?
It's pretty
I
generic,
mean, is that?
isn't it? Have you got it? I mean, you want to help us here a little bit since you're the professional
We have
HR person?
requested that the evaluation process or the requirements of a city manager applicant might have to be reviewed, and it could be up for change or alteration. Because 4 years ago, our needs were different than they are now. We stated on the 16th, we wanted to change the direction of the Board of Commissioners. And doing the same thing we did 4 years ago is not changing direction.
So do you think that, you want to be more specific in the ad about what we're looking for maybe?
Well, the only thing I see that would clearly give us the right input is for a full board to discuss the procedure. And we can't do that with 5 or 6.
This is fairly generic, and I can read this, it won't take very long, that the city of Shawnee, Oklahoma is seeking a progressive city manager. This individual will direct the operations of a municipality which has, in addition to the basic services of the police, fire, public works, engineering, community development, and planning, human resources, finance, city clerk, municipal clerk, in addition, an airport and a major exposition center. Shawnee is located in central Oklahoma with a population of approximately 29,000 people. That may need change to 30. This position reports to a 7-member city commission and serves on various municipal boards and committees. Works with the local chamber of commerce to entice industrial growth and community development. The ideal candidate will have a minimum of a bachelor's degree from a major college or university with emphasis in public administration, business administration, or a related field. Preference will be given for a candidate with a master's degree. A minimum of 7 years of increasingly responsible experience in business management, some of which was a public agency. Interested candidates should submit their resume. It's very generic. And again, it's just a little hook put out there to see what's
That is
swimming.
mainly the ad that goes out to, when you put out an ad in the newspaper, it's pretty generic, it's very basic for them to call to get the job description, but a lot of our stuff is online now. So with that, we would put the generic ad on there, but also attach the job description. That way they could go ahead and, along with the ad, have the full job description of specific duties that you all want them to do. So that would be just the one in the newspaper, and then they could go ahead and call us. We would put, of course, our contact information, but then the online would also have the job description attached.
Well, the question still remains. I'm sorry, Carl. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I've heard that we all need to be together, but there's one important issue here about being together. And that is, we're in the summertime operation now. I'm going to be out of pocket on the next commission meeting, which is July the 7th. I'm also going to be out of pocket part of the time because I'm going to Salt Lake City in August. So I think probably to prepare ourselves for this, we ought to let somebody, like I'm letting you know, and I'm letting Phyllis know of my dates and times that I'm going to be out, because I want to be here
Right.
for any discussion about this hiring of a city manager. This is Billy and my first shot at this,
Right.
and I intend to be fully involved in it, but I also have my family too,
Right.
and we've got plans and had plans before all this stuff came down, and we need to have I guess to the mayor and to the city manager, this is what I'm going to be, and I may not be here,
Right.
but I want to be here. So that's a key thing we need to work on.
Well, there's a
I
difference.
agree, and Carl won't be here for the July 7th meeting. I won't be here for the second meeting in July. We're also, Vice Mayor Stevens won't be here for either of those meetings. So waiting till the first week in August I don't see anything wrong with that.
Well, there's a big difference between hiring and putting an application out. Hiring is actually going through the process of deciding what you're going to do with the candidates that you have. If we put this out, let's say we don't get any candidates, we're probably going to have to get a headhunter. But
Right
this
now,
is the
today,
cheap way to
there
do
might be
this.
6 of us that know what that says. If you look at it again, it says the applicant will report to a 7-member
Right.
board. Not 6, not a 5, but 7. And I think we ought to stick with 7. We've done it for 4 years. Why change?
We're not always here all the time. I mean, Marva misses, and everybody's missed at some time or another, not been here. And we went ahead and made big decisions.
Get together on this, and we've done it before, on vacation time.
I just think this is a no-brainer executive type decision here, where you at least get the ad running, and then you make your decision from that point. We're wasting time. Again, we're going to be accused of doing exactly what we potentially have accused Jim Collard of not making
Catch 22,
action.
depending how you look at it.
How's that a
We
catch
could be
22?
accused of acting the same as we did when we're asking for new direction from the board, and you're reverting back to something old.
I don't know that we really have much new direction, because we've had a good direction. Some of that just wasn't adhered to. And I don't see this as not rocket science,
We had good direction. Why the hell did we just fire the city manager?
Well,
Come on.
that's up to
If
him.
you
I
want
mean,
this, make the
I think our
motion.
direction was
I gotta go
good.
back to work, make the motion.
Wait, let me ask Carl a question.
Okay.
You want to be involved, and I understand that. Do you think that, by running an ad that says those things or something different during your absence is not involving you in the process?
Oh, I agree with the advertising for this. I don't have a problem with that at all. But
That's what
when
we're
it
asking
comes
for.
down- Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but when it comes right down to talking, and asking for more questions, hopefully we've all got our questions. I just want everybody here to know
Right.
what I'm doing this summer.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but my family comes first.
Amen.
And I don't see, us even getting applications back to talk about what requirements are and how.
60 days.
The kinds of, things that we're gonna be looking for. I mean, we need to, before we even look at the stack,
Right.
we need to talk about what are we looking for, so
Right.
that when we look at the stack, we can say, these meet it,
Right.
these don't.
It'll be September probably.
And,
Okay, fine.
and I would think yes, I mean, at least be
I think
45
September,
days.
right.
I mean, I would think at least, and I don't know, is that a wrong assumption?
No, it's normally the least amount on a position like this would be 30 days, if not the 45, before the reviews would even start.
And you may re-advertise. You may actually re-advertise again, just if you're not satisfied with getting enough candidates, you re-advertise again, and that's just even longer out.
You guys have the option to, if we put it out there and say we gave a 30 or a 45-day, stopping point, that way, at least at that point, you can start reviewing the applications. You can still continue to take them, but by this date, you'll start reviewing. That way, if you find your candidate that you like, then you can proceed with that, but you can still collect at the same time in case that applicant doesn't work out.
Okay, and is there some timing issues with some publications that may be monthly? I have no idea, I'm just asking this. It might be monthly publications that you'd be trying to get into, that just the cycle, that by the time you get into it, say that you can meet the July date for a publication in August, that we may not receive those until August 30th or something.
Correct, but a lot of them will work with it. They'll throw it in and prorate it or something like that.
Okay, okay, okay.
Let's face one hard fact here. Hiring a new city manager, we are his or her supervisors, the 7 of us. For HR director to compose an ad, throw it in whatever publication she wants to, or he wants to, is not involving the supervisors of the prospective new city manager. I think the board should be in control from step one, which is the advertising, where it's going to be advertised, and what publication. That's not involving us all the way. It's involving us partway.
We could have a critical time here with what you're saying, in as much as we've got one commissioner that's going to be gone all the month of July, and you and I are going to be gone parts of July.
Right.
And the advertisement, to me, is just like what's been said.
It's
We're
basic.
putting it out there to find out who is, and we're not committing to anybody to anything.
Right.
And if we got a time frame here of 30 to 60 days, we should all be settled down by that time with traveling, that we can do that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but we have got to also get this thing out there to find out who may be out there.
It's going to take 3 or 4 months no matter what. No matter if we start the advertising tomorrow morning or August the 1st.
Well, sooner the better.
What I could do is from the directions of the commission, if you all would like me to, and you're approved to do it for an email, I could send you out the places that we normally advertise and ask if you all have any other places that you'd like for me to, and then get small emails back, and as soon as I get a small set of that, yes, I like this, or no, take this one out, and get a consensus, which might take a few days, you're more than welcome to do that.
You know where to send them. No, that's, and you're polling people,
My only argument
polling
is
people on an
that,
email.
Yeah.
Trust me as I've been chosen to be the HR director, and I'll take care of it.
Yeah, we can't be doing that. Email's the same as, so,
Well, I think the key point is, even if this ad goes out, we don't
We're
even
not doing
look
anything.
at anything
You're
until
right.
we've all sat down and discussed what we're looking at. We don't even look
We
at
don't
the
even
resume.
look
You're
at
right.
them.
So you can give us
we
numbers,
just want to accumulate them.
you know, as we go through meetings.
Right.
She can give us numbers of how many.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know who they are, where they're
Right.
from, anything.
Yeah, that's too premature.
Until we've
I agree.
all sat down in a group of 7 and discussed what we're looking for
Right.
before we look at it.
I agree.
That way
I
we
think
don't
that's critical.
become conceit with, okay, here's a candidate, let's go. Maybe we want to lead that direction. We
Right.
need to make our own direction, then look and see if we find somebody that matches it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but if we make no discussions, no one looks at them until we've all made a group, I think that's what we're really looking for. I don't think that the ad in itself is so generic. That
I think so, too.
I look at, after we talk, we're probably going to want to tweak it and resubmit it. But right now, that's about as much as we can do, because we haven't had time to talk. It is too
And
quick.
I would say that 30 days is not even enough for
No.
us. I mean, I would say 45 to 60.
45 to
And
60.
we need to be in agreement
I
with
agree.
that, so that
With
with
schedules, it's
applications.
going to be
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, we have to
It's
start
gonna be
scheduling our meetings so that we
the
can
middle of
talk.
August before everybody's going to be together.
That's right.
Hopefully, we have quorum in between.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I'll entertain a motion to authorize staff to proceed with advertising.
I'll make the motion to proceed with advertising with the understanding that we will keep it open for 45 days and that nobody looks at advertising,
Okay.
applicants until we have all.
Is 45 normal, or is you want to say 60?
Did I say 60? I'm trying to give you something that if
Right.
someone sends theirs in, you can call them and say, we have it. Just want you to know it's going to be August 15th before we
That's
even
fine. 45
talk
days,
about
so,
anything.
okay, 45 days.
And then my other question
Okay.
is, do you want them coming to the HR department, or would you like for it to go to another location to receive?
Why not HR?
Yeah, that's good.
That's what we're hiring you to do.
Because you know how to handle them better than anyone else as far as the privacy is.
Right, lock them up.
Yeah.
If you put them anywhere else, that could be a problem.
We don't want to know. Numbers maybe, but not particulars.
And then it's incumbent upon this board to get together and talk about requirements and what we're looking for.
Look at the
before
job
we even
description and-
Before we
consider.
ever look at one.
Right.
That's right. And
Consider the
if we have to
process.
postpone it because someone else has to be gone,
Right.
then Kelly will just have to make the phone calls to everybody and say, I'm sorry, we
Right.
weren't able to have all 7 members, and we're going to postpone another 2 to 4 weeks.
Right. Okay, motion by Commissioner Peterson, second by Commissioner Holt. Call roll, please.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to number 3. Tom's got to go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Transfer of appropriations between departments. Is that you? Street personnel to,
I just want to reiterate, especially for the news, that it's coming out of the streets department regular salary. There's been some turnover and some vacancies, and that's why salary money for the
Okay.
department is available for those positions.
okay,
It's not coming from any kind of capital expenditure.
right. Just personnel, personnel to personnel. Okay.
Personnel.
Move
Okay.
to accept.
Motion by Commissioner Schran,
Second.
second by Commissioner Collier. Other discussion? Call roll, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Collier. Second by Commissioner Holt. Call roll, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Oh, we need to do this.